Carrie, so you're an event marketer, right? You start nailing the sales, the marketing, tying the dots, a little bit of strategy, a little bit of approach. Now you get put into a scenario where you're the event lead. You have to lead a team. You're managing all the 1099s, contractors. You own a budget. Things are starting to progress into becoming the title, whatever, head of global, director, whatever. There's all different titles. It doesn't matter. What does that step up look like? Because that's something that people asked a lot about when they came to our event, which is management, dealing with difficult people, putting people in the right seats. Tell me about that.
It's more about ownership and scope. So it's about, you're right, like leading the teams, having the bigger picture in mind. So you may not execute everything, but you have oversight of everything and you have the final product still that you're responsible for. It's also, I think, in the event sector, it's getting out and being a leader within the industry and being a thought leader within the industry, sharing ideas, speaking, podcasts, mentorship. I think is really missed. But I think that piece of stepping up to that kind of third tier is mentorship, not only within your own teams, but outside of the organization, and attending a lot of other events and networking with a lot of other event leaders to understand, what the latest trends are and what on top of trends, like what ROI looks like today and staying relevant and how to keep your event relevant and not just rinse, repeat and do the same thing over and over because that's what you've been doing in the organization for so many
Yeah.
years. So it's like challenging the status quo, bringing new ideas in. So it's truly a different level. And perhaps you're doing both or all three. I know in my roles in the past, I've still had to execute, but I'm also dealing with contracting and budgets and legal and cross-functional, cross-department management of teams and hiring vendors and then managing vendors and executing everything on site and then also presenting out to the board of directors and all of the stakeholders that ROI piece and the bottom line. So sometimes the line blurs across all of those.
When you're talking about going into this leadership role and this idea of getting a better handle on the industry, right? Bit of a thought leader, understanding your peers, what they're doing, what's going on around you. I think that's such a, like, it's an obvious, but a non-obvious. Like, I don't think a lot of people, would say that, right? That essentially you got to know what's going on. You got to know what others are doing. You have to know the lay of the land because then you're able to input strategy and things where needed. It's not a matter of just executing your job anymore. You have to think on kind of a next level up and being able to articulate your thoughts about the industry, reading, podcasting, knowing what's going on, talking. I think the whole peer aspect is very important. Do you have a peer that does what you do in a different industry or non-competitive industry that you can call and talk to, right? Hey, what's going on at your trade shows? Hey, what are you seeing? What are, you know what I mean? Whatever it may be. I think that's invaluable.
Yeah, crowdsource it. Don't
Yeah.
reinvent the wheel, it's probably been done and somebody's doing it better and somebody's bringing something new to the table. So it's like leaning into that as well.